Chad Hyams here again with another episode of Achieve Your Apex. I am loving bringing you the chapters of my book. I'm loving bringing you these episodes where I bring on a guest and we talk about something. I just hope you are enjoying the information as well. Remember, you can always get your own copy of the book either on Amazon, just search for Achieve Your Apex, Chad Hyams, or you can go to my website, achieveyouраpex.com, where I'll ship you a book right from home. I'll even sign it for you. Not sure if that helps the value or not. And as for the podcast, I hope you subscribe so that they automatically are downloading for you. And I would love it if you shared or reviewed the podcast. Yep, post it maybe, share it with a friend, give me a review, something, and I'll keep this information coming well past the final chapter of the book, which is on the horizon. Don't worry, I got a lot more stuff to bring you. Yet I want to keep going with chapter 14, where we are talking about habits. And we're talking about habits and motivation and how they tie together so well. Go check out the last episode if you missed it and need to read a little bit more about it or hear a little bit more about it. And today I'm going to talk to you about the science of motivation, just not yet. Because I want to talk a little bit more about habits and then finish off with the science stuff. So stay tuned because you're going to want to hear about the 3 key things that are going to help you with motivation. Now, I want to talk about habits and the term is habit stacking, right? James Clear uses it. I don't know who else has probably used it. Everybody's used it. Habit stacking. And what that is talking about is one habit, which becomes another habit, which becomes another habit. Great way to think about it is imagine throwing a rock into the water. What did we get? We got all those ripples. Okay, can we make one habit, then ripple out and become the next and become the next? And sometimes we have to start small with those habits to get the big effect that we're looking for. I come from a real estate background, and many of my listeners might come from a real estate background as well. And whether you do or you don't, you've bought a house at some point, or at least lived in one enough to understand this. Houses are built in certain order. You don't put the walls up before putting the slab down, right? You don't put the wiring in after you put the drywall on. You build it in order. The same thing is true with habits. So can you think about what is that habit that is the slab, the one everything is going to rest on, that one that is going to be really strong and sturdy with you? You probably already have it in your life. It's probably one of those habits that's already there. Now, can you stack on it? Can you say this habit holds up the walls, right? This habit holds up this habit. Now, when those walls are up, now we can start putting in the next habit, which is the plumbing, which is the wiring, which is all that, which is the roof on top of it that's going to close it all together. And think about the fact that you're building a house made of habits. The problem with that is just like a house of cards. If one habit falls, the house falls too. And I want you to be thinking about building powerful habits and taking your time establishing each one. Yes, instant gratification is not fast enough, right? I don't even let the microwave reach 0 anymore. It gets to like 1 and I'm pushing, okay, you're done. Because I can't wait that extra second any longer. I have no patience. Instant gratification, I want it now. When it comes to habits, that's not how it's going to happen. And in those areas of my life, I have been meticulous and I have been slow and I have had a plan to say, this is going to become a habit, then I'm ready to make this a habit. Then I'm ready to add the nutrition to my health habit. Then I'm et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you build this house that is sturdy and strong and other people want it because it looks pretty from the outside. The inside's my own mess. No one's seeing what's inside. That's where my chaos and my disaster live. But from the outside, they're saying, I want a house just like that. And you can do that too. Remember, one habit brings the next one. And what habits do you already have in your life that even if they don't truly connect, can be that cue that we talked about? Look, your parents probably instilled with you a habit of brushing your teeth twice a day. Great. When you pick up the toothbrush to brush your teeth, what habit should that trigger? Can that trigger a habit to do squats? Can that trigger a habit to send a message of gratitude to somebody on your phone? So when you brush your teeth, you type out a gratitude message. Can that habit trigger, I don't know what, but that's a habit you probably have. What are some of the other habits you have that you can use as triggers, that cue that brings on the next habit, that brings on that reward? I want you to remember that, because that's going to make this so much easier for you. And I want you to remember to celebrate the little wins as we go. Now, I want to take a minute or two. I didn't want it to be its own episode. It didn't need to be its own episode. But I want to take a minute or two and talk to you about the self-determination theory, SDT. Get the letters right. Okay? It's an SDT. Okay? It is the psychological framework that explains driving your motivation and behavior. Yep. It identifies that there's 3 core needs that are essential for us for personal growth, for motivation, and for our overall well-being. And I want to give you those 3 right now, tell you a little bit about them, give you an example, and then a challenge to go with it. Okay, so the 3 are, and I'll say them for you and then I'll go back: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Okay, so let's dive into first autonomy. This does not mean you need to be on your own and independent and doing everything alone. That's not what autonomy means in this situation. It means that you feel in control of your own actions and decisions. If someone hands you a goal, how often does it get done? It doesn't. When the boss gives you an assignment, right, it's not going to get done as well or as quickly as when it's you deciding you want to do it. It's when you get to decide the actions that get you there. People are generally more motivated when they feel they have a choice and that their actions align with their personal values and goals. Right? If it's not authentic to you, you're not going to do it. You're going to avoid it at all costs. So you have to make sure and feel like you have that choice and that your actions will align with your values and goals. Okay? You have the feeling that you are making meaningful decisions in your life and that there isn't just fate and it's going to happen. We need that to be motivated, to have well-being, right? And to have personal growth and development. Let me give you an example. There's the person who chooses to exercise, me, right? Because they value health and well-being. That's what got me going. And I'm more consistent and more engaged in that choice than someone who's pressured because a partner says to him, you need to lose a few pounds. Or even the doctor says to him, you know what, you're going to have a heart attack if you don't. Someone who chooses it has the autonomy to say, I value health and well-being. I'm going to choose to become more consistent and develop a habit in that area. I'm going to be much more likely to make that habit a reality than someone pressured by external expectations. The second thing on the list was competence. Okay. People need to feel capable and effective in managing tasks and challenges. People are motivated when they believe, hear this, that they can succeed in what they're doing. Not when it's totally unbelievable. I want you to go out there and run a marathon in world record time. No, that's not happening. I can't run a sub 2-hour marathon. But when I believe I can succeed in running a marathon, maybe I'll consider taking that on. I have confidence in it. I can do it. Okay. Success builds confidence, which brings incremental achievements along the way, which makes me want to keep doing it. It's that motivation that keeps going. It's like somebody who learns the piano. All right. I got no skill at it. I never learned the piano, but somebody who learns the piano will be more likely to stay motivated when they see improvement and success. When they master a song, they're more likely to keep going. When they master these chords, they're more likely to keep going. Me, I just hit them, make some noise. I didn't feel like I was going anywhere, gave up on it. Not my thing. All right. And the third was relatedness. It's a tough one to say. Relatedness. And that is people need to feel connected to others and have meaningful relationships. We need to feel related, okay? Humans are overall social beings. I don't care if you're in external, internal. I don't care when you become an introvert. That's the word I'm looking for. An introvert or an extrovert, folks. Introverts don't not like people. They just have a small group of people. There's a special group of us that just don't like people. That's completely different. Okay, we are human, and that makes us social. Okay, motivation is heightened when people feel a sense of belonging and connection. Maybe that's teamwork, mentorship, shared goals, whatever it is. That relatedness gives us purpose and emotional support. First time I ran a marathon when I was challenged, I joined a running group, found a group of people that were doing it with me. Think about what you can do with others and how much farther it'll help you. Okay. SDT emphasizes that intrinsic motivation I talked about in the last episode. It's internal desires rather than external rewards, which brings us more of a fulfillment. So, what do I want you to do? I want you to take this little challenge. And I want you to think about autonomy. Give yourself choices in how you approach your goals. Figure out a few paths. Don't make it I have to follow this path to success. Competence, I want you to focus on incremental wins, something you can do, which will then make you feel you can do the next and can do the next. No one goes from beginning to black belt. We earn this belt and then feel we could get to that belt and so on. And relatedness, do you have a community around you? Supportive. Hopefully, they even have like minded goals. If not, at least they're supportive to yours, because that's going to make the difference in helping you get where you need to go. Remember these steps as you develop habits which improve your motivation, and keep climbing.